What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, guys? Good evening, good evening. Thank you for tuning in to IKAK. It is such a great opportunity right now for me to be able to have a platform to express my thoughts, to express my feelings, to express just the things that's going on in our society today, and just to communicate with people all over the world, wherever you are. Um, Thank you and thank God. And so today we're going to be talking about. I will be reporting on the uh, the Dallas police officer shooting that happened a couple days ago. Many of us are like have so many questions and just concerns as to how this innocent man, right, or this man that we believe to be innocent, life was taken, by a police officer in his home, And so that's where a lot of the questions and just the, I guess, being baffled at the thought now that you're not even safe in your own home, right? And I hate to even use race as just a factor in this situation, but it's hard not to. And so whether you're walking down the street or just being you, now you're not even safe in your own home, right? And so now we have to add that to the narrative. And so while investigations are still being underway and continued, the police was actually officially charged in the fatal shooting. And so I'm just going to read from a credible news source, CNN, so we can just be on the same page as far as the updated story. This report was released on Monday, September 10th at 2:39 a.m. Bear with me as I just get this in order here. So let me just adjust this. I'm gonna adjust this a little, guys. Just a little, so I can actually see what I'm doing here. Oh, that's a lot better. All right. So it says a Dallas police officer who fatally shot a man in his apartment after mistaking it for her own was arrested Sunday on manslaughter charges, the Texas Rangers said. Amber Geiger, who is white, was off duty when she shot Botham Shem Jean, a black man, police said Thursday. The 26-year-old native of St. Lucia was unarmed. He died at the hospital. Geiger was released from the Kaufman County Jail on Sunday evening after posing a $300,000 bond. The fatal shooting happened Thursday night at the South Side Flats in Dallas, where both Jean and Geiger lived. A female Dallas police officer returned what she believed to be her apartment after her shift ended. She was still in uniform when she encountered Mr. Jean inside the apartment. Dallas Police Chief Elisha Renee Hall said Thursday. The police chief said it's unclear what the interaction was between her and the victim. Then, at some point, she fired her weapon, striking the victim. The officer called 911, and officers responded in about 4 minutes, Hall said. Geiger, they're also reporting here that she was involved in a previous shooting. Geiger, 30, is a 4-year veteran of the department assigned to the Southeast Patrol Division. It wasn't immediately clear if she had an attorney. Geiger was involved in another shooting incident in May 2017, Dallas police said. In that case, Geiger was attempting to identify a woman in a car when another passenger in the vehicle got out and took her taser. Geiger shot and injured the suspect, according to the department's statement. The suspect was later charged with taking a weapon from an officer, possession of meth and marijuana, and a parole violation. The investigation into the recent shooting has been handed over to the Texas Rangers, the state law enforcement agency, to eliminate the appearance of any potential bias, the police department said in a statement Saturday. At the very early stages of this investigation, initial indications were that they were what we consider circumstances of an officer-involved shooting, Hall said. However, as we continued this investigation, it became clear that we are dealing with what appears to be a much different and very unique situation. Hall said investigators obtained blood samples from Geiger to test for drugs and alcohol. Dallas Mayor Mike Rawlings thanked the Texas Rangers and praised Hall, who asked the state agency to take over the investigation. Please continue to pray for the family of Botham Jean tonight and in the weeks and months ahead, Rawlings said in a statement. Geiger's arrest was announced as Jean's family and their attorneys say they met with Dallas County District Attorney Faith Johnson to demand the officer be taken into custody. We don't need evidence beyond a reasonable doubt at this point, Jean family attorney Esley Merritt told reporters Sunday. At this point, we need probable cause of a crime, and the existence of probable cause is painstakingly clear to everyone. Merritt said attorneys presented prosecutors with a witness and video evidence which didn't capture the shooting but declined to elaborate. Jean and Geiger did not have any known relationship prior to the shooting, Merritt said. We're still dealing in America with black people being killed in some of the most arbitrary ways, driving while black, walking while black, and now we have to add living while black. Well, that's kind of redundant because while walking, while driving, they were all living. I digress. Co-counsel Benjamin Crump said, Jean worked as a risk assurance experienced associate at PricewaterhouseCoopers in Dallas, according to his LinkedIn page. He earned a bachelor's degree from Howard University in Arkansas in 2016. Crump said Jean was living, doing everything that you want a young person to do. He had no criminal history. He was an amazing student. He was an amazing citizen. He loved God, Crump said. Friends and family gathered at a vigil at Jean's church, the Dallas West Church of Christ, on Saturday. CNN affiliate CBS 11 reported he was remembered by classmates, co-workers, and family members as a loving son and brother, a hard worker, and a powerful singer who enjoyed helping others. Botham loved mankind, Jean's mother, Allison Jean, said to those gathered. Botham never saw color, never saw race. Botham wanted all of us to unite. Funeral services for Jean are scheduled for 11 a.m. Thursday at the Dallas West Church of Christ. This report is credited by CNN's Susanna Calinane and Ray Sanchez. So I know a lot of us we've seen reports whether on the news, on actual cable, over the internet, through social media. And so as many have concerns, there's just a lot of questions that we have, right? And so it doesn't take us having to be there or having to know anything outside of what was reported. And to me, there are just certain questions that I believe you and I may share, right? Or maybe I'm not even aware of. And definitely email me questions that you may have, and just concerns as we are in this community together to just do and say what is right? And it starts with the small things. You see, everything that we do starts with a thought. Everything that starts with a thought now can become words and then actions behind those words. And so, believe it or not, it really starts with our desire to want to do right and to want to be right and to just make the world a better place in the ways that we can, even with the smallest influence that we have. It starts with our neighbor. It starts with just anywhere that we are in the world outside of our home. It starts even in our home, right? With our children, with our family, with our parents, because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. And so that is basically what this platform is about, I King Amongst Kings. It's something that I believe, it's, of course, my voice and just my perspectives and just the things that I desire to share, with the world and just to share with an audience. I'm just trusting my language and trusting my instincts that I believe God has given me to be a light in this world. And I'm using this in many other ways I do desire to in the future, but this is just an opportunity right now that I believe is going to take me places. And I just thank you for your support. First and foremost, and just continuing to click subscribe and share. So some of the questions that I have regarding this, I mean, I don't even want to get too much into, because we will have questions, and then we have questions, then we have questions, then we have questions that lead to emotions, right? Emotions, whether it's anger, sadness. And for me, the emotions that comes from my questions are anger and frustration, because I just don't seem to understand how, there seems to be this safety threading within the media, that this man who was in his home, right, in his home, who was shot and killed in his home, right? And so some of the questions that I have is, how did she not notice? So a neighbor, when being interviewed by the media, said that the victim, he had a red mat in front of his door. Mr. Jean, the victim, he had a red mat in front of his door, and that's how she, was able to distinguish certain apartments, because supposedly the apartments are all alike. And she herself, this neighbor had said that she herself had parked on the wrong floor and got off on the wrong floor and mistaken her apartment. But outside of that, right? Outside of that, because we're not making excuses here, when this police officer went into, or decided to go into Mr. Jean's apartment, right? How did you not notice that red mat on the floor? Like, you don't have a red mat, right? Let's just say you don't have a red mat in front of your door that's shaped the way it's shaped. If you guys look online, there are pictures on there. You don't have a red mat that is shaped the way that it's shaped. So you go in, okay, the door is open, so you go in, right? And you see that your furniture and the things that's in his apartment is not like yours. Excuse me. Right? So at what point, and this is where the frustration comes in, because it's like, at what point do you now go from there to drawing a gun and to shooting this man to kill him? Right? And so now they said that the door was open. One of the questions that I had was how, like, they said that the door was open. All right. So this is what I think. This is what I think happened in this situation, because I'm not even going to continue. I'm just going to say what I think happened. I think that this woman, this police officer, went into that man's apartment, and him being home, she went into the apartment. He must have became perturbed, or should I say startled, to the point where he may have reacted in a way of self-defense. And just, again, you're coming into someone's home. You're into someone's home. You came into someone's home. You came into someone's home, and they keep stating that she had on her uniform. I don't know why they keep stating that she had on a uniform. I don't know if it's to try to make it seem like, oh, well, even if she's coming into his home, he should have known. Well, guess what? You came to his home with or without a uniform. You're trespassing. You're trespassing into this man's home, right? And that's number one. Number two, if he were to have been afraid, scared, attacked her, that would have been his right. You came into his home. You came into this man's home and you killed him. Now, they have video footage of her outside calling the police, but there's really nothing outside of from that video footage that really kind of shows us anything that happened to, before she decided, after she done killed him. There's really no video footage of her or any of the interaction or confrontation while she was at in the apartment. So to me, it's just, again, You know, it's really it's frustrating because you just don't know, you just don't know what to expect, you know? And there's just no words. There are no words. But hopefully and truly, hopefully we do get some answers and truth, most importantly, right? Because the idea that this man who, you know, who 26-year-old graduated from college, a working man, had his own place, went to church, served God, served people who've never committed a crime before, literally a clean slate, clean sheet, clean rap, still fell victim to the bullet of a police officer in his own home. I can't get over that. I cannot get over that. I cannot get over it. I'm. It's just. It's ridiculous, you know. And I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about that. But that's it, y'all. There's not really much on this. I will definitely be updating my videos based with this particular story based on what is released during these days, and follow up on this case and definitely share with you. So there will definitely be a part 1, part 2, part 3, whatever. But we'll definitely be staying on this case, and I will be sharing with you. See you soon.